Hello everybody, my name's James Glover. I am nearly 39 years old and I left Danecourt in 1999, having studied my A-levels. So what have I been doing since I left school? I went and did a sports science degree that I hated, but ended up making sure that I passed the qualification, having been there for 3 years and racked up a ton of debt. I became a whitewater raft guide and grew my hair long and had a dodgy beard and yeah, worked in outdoor education, like helping disaffected youths and traveling a little bit. I then I actually had two potential career paths. One was kind of going into military, into the RAF, and the other was wanting to work in sport. And I tried to get into the military and failed. I didn't pass officer selection, and ended up working in a national governing body of sport as an administrator for a while. But that led me on a path that changed my life. I ended up working for the English Institute of Sport. I worked across 3 Olympic cycles: Beijing, London, Rio. The 3 sports that I was working with in London all won gold medals, something they'd never done before in their life, in their history, which was an epic time to be involved in elite sport. I became head of sports science and medicine for British Triathlon. And then in 2016, I left high performance sports, something I never thought I would do, and became a consultant working for an organization that was trying to change the way the world works, called the Energy Project. And have traveled the world working with organizations like BMW, Microsoft, Google, Goldman Sachs, Shell, non-for-profit organizations, education institutions, just trying to help people figure out how they can be at their best more of the time. Yeah, and in amongst all of that, met the woman of my dreams, married her, have 2 children, 3.5-year-old little girl who is 10 times wittier than I am or could ever be, and keeps me firmly in my place, and a 10-week-old little boy, as well as those rafts that I was talking about. Yeah, I raced them for Great Britain. That was an interesting story. Went to places like Bosnia and South Korea and Ecuador and other kind of jazz. Won a few medals along the way too. What have I learned about myself? It's a huge question. I've learned a lot. It sounds a little trite, but I think that we are always all constantly learning. I have learned that I can be defensive when the people I care about push me. I've learned that I'm deeply respectful and will often go over and above for others, putting what they need before myself. I've learned that dyslexia doesn't hold you back, that actually allows you to think differently and creatively and solve problems in ways that other people can't imagine. I've learned that playfulness and positivity is a gift, and that people thrive on positive energy. I've learned the hard way a lot of times too, actually, just wanting to figure stuff out for myself when there were no shortage of people around to be able to help out. So that's another important learning, that you don't always have to suffer and be in things on your own. There are always people that are experiencing the same things as you, and when you find those other people and you're able to connect with those other people and you realize that you're not alone in a lot of these things, it's like being supercharged. Why would I recommend studying A-levels? Honest answer, it felt like freedom in comparison to doing my GCSEs. Having a timetable and less accountability to kind of being in and out of school at certain times. I'm not even sure if that's still how it works, but that kind of first step to freedom was really, really important. And what it did is it lulled me into a false sense of security. It was a case of, okay, well, you don't have to be everywhere at every moment. So this is going to be easier than doing GCSEs. And that wasn't a real thing. What actually was a real thing is that with freedom, and increased freedom comes increased accountability. Like, nobody's going to do it for you. You have to get on and do it yourself. And that's a real gift, a real gift. Doing A-levels in sixth form is a way to start to deepen your understanding of yourself. It's a way to start to test who you want to be and how you want to be. And there's no right or wrong answer for that. And my time doing A-levels at sixth form, it was a great way to see my friends' characters blossom and me try to explore mine at the same time, and come together with people that maybe I hadn't been connected to or close to in my year group before, and forge genuine lifelong friendships. I have a friend now still, and he's moved over to Canada, that wasn't in my friendship group until I did A-levels. I've been to his wedding, I've held his 2 children, he was master of ceremonies at my wedding, we've been on holidays together. Yeah, it's a phenomenal experience. And the final question: what advice would you give to your 16-year-old self? I mean, this is a really emotive question. I don't know an adult that hasn't. I don't know a person, let alone an adult, that hasn't experienced times of challenge. And I definitely think, if I was able to sit down with my 16-year-old self, it would be an interesting two-way conversation. I don't think it would be about me giving them advice. I think there's probably a few words that they would use with me too. But the one thing I would say to them is, it's going to be okay. I would say that people know you're a good guy, and that's going to carry you a long, long way. So don't worry about the things that you're worrying about right now. So yeah, I think if anybody out there is undecided, get yourself to sixth form and do A-levels. It's mega.